Hey y'all, it's Jen. I hope you're doing really awesome this week and that you've had plenty of time to get some art and journaling done. In this video, I'm going to make a new journal with you guys. It's going to be for the month of March. And I'm showing you this journal because I'm finding that I don't like it because I put way too many pages in it. I've only filled up the first half of it, and it has that bump in the middle that it's starting to get hard to put things into the journal. So I ordered some Tomoe River Paper. I'm not sure if that's the way you pronounce it, but it's artist grade and it's 68 GSM. I ordered it from Jet Pens because I originally planned to make a binder journal out of it. I did some testing with that and I found that I wasn't really happy with the feel of it and the way that it looked. What I ordered was like an album, and the binder ring was on the back cover, not in on the spine, so it's kind of awkward. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a cover that is collaged with the art that I created for March, as well as art from other creators, Pocket Journal Pam and Susie's Tiny Desk, which I love their art so much, and I would love to see them on the cover of my journal, and it just really inspires me to get in there and start journaling. So last month I laminated some sequins and really decorated the inside cover so you could see the layering, and it was really cool. But this time I'm going to do something different. I'm just going to make a collage cover. I've made these a couple times in the past. You can go back and look through my videos from the spring of last year and you'll see one like this. But I'm going to laminate this cover and see if I can actually make a little journaling notebook out of it. And I'm going to tape the Tomoe River papers side by side, and that I'm going to use those for my signature. So I hope that this will give you yet another idea of a DIY journal that you can make on your own. I've just really been on the fence about getting a Hobonichi because I just feel like they're really, really big, and I don't really want to see the same thing, the same cover over and over again. I kind of want the cover to represent like what's going on in my life, at that time. So I really do like the idea of the monthly journal, but I'm going to keep on experimenting and revising and seeing what works and what doesn't work. So with this cover, I did, it's a scrapbook piece of paper, and it's from a Die Cuts with a View. I absolutely love that scrapbook paper company because they have double-sided paper, and I just think that is so easy, and I love the designs. They come out with pretty contemporary designs, and they go on sale quite often. I think it's on Joann's. I'm pretty sure that they can be found for about $8 sometimes on Joann's, or it's Michael's, one of the two. So you'll have to check that out. So yeah, I'm just going to fold that and collage on top of it with my favorite pieces. Those legs are from Pocket Journal Pam. I just think they're adorable. I love the color, and I love the line art on the shoes. Just really cute. And that ticket is from Susie's Tiny Desk, and I will have the links for them in the description as usual. If you're new here, I love journaling and mixed media. I love collage. I love drawing. And what I normally do is create art for your journals, crafts, and Happy Mail. And I am currently offering all that stuff on my Patreon account, which is in the description as well. And yeah, so I glued everything down just with some fabric tack. I just tacked it down a little bit. I ran out of stick glue, but if you have a little bit of stick glue, there should be no problems gluing that down and it being able to be fed through a laminator. Yeah, I love putting collage hand-painted papers down on everything. Covers, journal spreads, that's just my starting point. I love to start that as a first layer. That face is by Pocket Journal Pam. Absolutely adore it so much. I just couldn't fit her on the cover this time. But she was on my inside cover for last month, the miniature size. And that's also her butterfly. And the gnome on the cover, it says, oh gosh, what does it say? Oh, it says, I don't care, gnome more, like a gnome, you know? And I have it in a bigger size on my collage sheets. And the girl with the bird costume, she's feeling very meh, and she's trying to wake up with her coffee. She's an afternoon person. She's not a morning person, and she didn't have anything to wear. She just threw on her bird costume because it makes her look cute. She doesn't have to worry about her hair, and she's just trying to wake up. And then the girl that is blooming out of the flower is my design, as well as the I'm So Lucky kind of round sticker on the front. The fairy that is just adorable holding the fountain pen is by Susie's Tiny Desk. And the March label, I believe that's Pocket Journal Pam. Or it's Susie. I think it's Pocket Journal Pam. And she has a bigger size as well. And I always talk about these little foil stars for teachers that I get from Dollar Tree all the time. They're very affordable. There's like 300 in a pack. And I'm putting those on the cover instead of putting in sequins because I just wasn't sure about everything feeding okay in Laminator. So that kept this page flat using these stickers. So that I can have a little bit of sparkle and shine. And then I learned this trick from Gypsy Rose Papery with her glitter paint. I think she might have the same kind, I don't know, but I have the folk art one that you can find at Walmart. It's pretty awesome stuff. It's just, you use a little bit of it and it's so glittery. But I had been using a paintbrush and that just wasn't working. It dries out because I don't want to rinse the brush off because it's like huge chunks of like glitter and plastic and stuff. So I just let the brush dry and then just keep using the brush. Well, she uses a palette knife. I'm like, duh, that's perfect, So they also provide this at Walmart in a very narrow size. So see, you can easily get in there. And the stuff lasts forever. I've probably had this stuff over a year now. You got to keep it in a temperature stable, space, because it can kind of glob up, if it's outside, like in a shed or something. So a little will go a long way with this stuff. It's easy to just get addicted and just slather it everywhere. But man, that is just like, it's like you threw up glitter on it. You know what I mean? Which is what I usually do. So for this journal, I try to just pick a few little key areas to add the glitter, so it's not so overwhelming. I added some to the fairy wings and the bird's feathers and tails, and the devil girl's horns, and then I just kind of went ham on the butterfly wings. So yeah, that's my cover. I love it. And I'm just going to show you a close-up of it. And it's just with a piece of scrapbook paper. And I'm going to set that aside to dry. And now I'm going to try to show you how I prepared my signatures. So these are the artist grade Tomoe River sheets, and I'm not sure if you can get these sheets in a regular letter size, but I'm definitely, after I use up these pages, I'm definitely going to look into that because it would be much easier just to fold, the paper. But I got this paper because I wanted to mimic a Hobonichi, but in a binder. So that's why I got these little pages. And I was just planning to punch holes in them. So for this project, I'm just taking some inexpensive masking tape and just taping them together. And I'm only going to tape them on one side. That's because I don't want to bulk the spine up. And it was no problem at all. I didn't have any problems with sticking or anything. The inside part, it wasn't sticking or getting caught with the next paper. And I kind of ripped the edges on some of them just to give them more of like an organic look to it and to decrease the amount of bulk in the spine. Because I want to be able to get my journal to close. And yeah, I just don't want it to be too bumpy. So yeah, I'm just using regular old masking tape here. And yeah, so I thought I was buying A5, and I think these are A5, and I don't even know if I know what A5 is. I just thought that was, if you fold a piece of paper in half, like a normal piece of letter paper. I'm not sure. You guys can correct me on that. But once I went in, you'll see it later. Once I went in to put my cover in the laminating sheet, it didn't fit. It was too big. So I have no idea what I did wrong there, because I made the scrapbook paper the same size as that Tomoe paper. So here I'm just adding 2 pieces of scrapbook paper because I just love patterns. I love color, and I just love including scrapbook paper in my journal. I think it adds color, vibrancy, and it causes me to kind of be creative and get the creative juices flowing. I usually tend to put way too many pieces of scrapbook paper in my journal. So this, I really had to limit myself for this little journal. So I only picked 2 pieces of scrapbook paper. I'm just kind of sad about that, but it'll be okay. I also went really low on the amount of pages for the signature. I think I made about 8 of these leaf, things. Here I'm just making sure the glitter paint is dry. So yeah, I just did not use that many pages because I want to bulk it up, and it's already halfway through March, and I know that there's some days that I didn't keep track of at the beginning of March. So yeah, I have the Scotch laminating machine from Amazon. It was the highest rated one, and I'm using a very thick, I think it's 550, no, is it 5? Yeah, 5 millimeter thickness laminating sheets. And I'm trying to start training it to fold in half. So if you have a bone folder or something like that, go ahead and fold it in half. And you can see I'm realizing, oh my God, my cover is not going to fit. So sadly, I do have to chop it off. But yeah, so I make sure when you turn on your laminator that you click the 5 millimeter button so that it'll know how hot to get, I'm assuming. And you just wait a couple minutes and it'll light up whenever it's ready to be fed through. So yeah, I made sure I rounded the corners. So yeah, so make sure that your cover is nicely folded, and you've used your bone folder or whatever thing that you have to really make sure it's folded at a nice tight crease. And I just fit it into the laminating sleeve there. Yeah, and you got to work kind of hard to shove it right into that little edge. Yeah, so I'm just making sure it fits, and I'm just going for it. I'm just going for it, and I'm feeding it, and I'm holding on to it pretty nice and holding it taut to make sure nothing shifts. And then I just kind of let go and hope for the best that the laminating machine works. And when it comes out, it's sort of malleable because it's still warm. So I got it immediately and started folding it again. So make sure you do that, because if you let it like cool down and set, it's going to be harder to, fold and shape, because if you want to reshape plastic, you have to melt it to bend it, or to shape it. So you got to add some heat. So that's my cover. I was so happy with it. I was so surprised that it worked. I'm so happy with it. It does suck that I had to trim down the cover, but I will know for next time. And I think next time I'm going to try to use the thinner 3 millimeter laminating sheets. I used the 3 millimeter laminating sheets to make a binder cover that had sequins in it, and it was just too thin and too crinkly. But I think if you use it to cover one of these like scrapbook pages, which is cardstock, and additional images, I think that the 3 millimeter thickness will be just fine, and it'll be even more malleable and soft covered than this one is. This one is like a really hard card feeling, like, you know, you'd have at like a school, you know, if you had something laminated, or a planner, like those nice happy planner covers, things like that. So it's kind of like that durable. So I'm going to do like a pamphlet stitch, but I'm going to be putting like 5 holes in it because I want it to be pretty secure. So yeah, I'm just using an awl. I'm not sure where I got this. I think this was part of like a jewelry tool kit or something, but you can find them at Walmart in the sewing department. Just be careful of the wooden handle one that they have because you can poke the hole like really thick and wide. I'm not sure where I got this one from. And I have wax linen thread that I've had for a long time. I just ordered like a sampler from someone on Etsy. And I really like using the linen thread, the wax linen thread, because it doesn't get caught or tangled when you're trying to sew through all the holes. Yeah, my husband was showing me a video of this man who has this like baby raccoon that follows him everywhere while he's doing like construction projects. My husband's obsessed with raccoons right now because we have so many in our area. So yeah, I'm just stitching away here. This is a easy stitch to do. Just like if you were hand stitching something, you could do it like that. It would be fine. You can also look up like more closer videos of how to do this pamphlet stitch. So I've sewn through everything okay, and I'm double knotting the thread just so it doesn't come loose. And I'm just kind of working it and folding it. It will definitely lay flat if I want to work on it, which I'm happy about that because my last journal, I couldn't make it go flat. I would have to use a clip. And there's very little paper in there because the Tomoe River paper is really thin. But I know that I wanted to have a closure just because if you see it now, it's sticking out. I mean, it's not like closing flat. So I put in a eyelet here and use the crocodile to poke the hole and to add the eyelet in. And then I'm just going to use some inexpensive twine to make a closure. So yeah, this baker's twine is really super thick, and I got it from Dollar Tree a while ago. I was really surprised at the durability. For this closure, I double up the thread, and then I do that loop thing that you do like when you tie on a tag, like a ribbon on top of a tag. And then I wrap it around twice, and then I'm going to make a big, huge knot at the end. This is how I used to make my Traveler's Notebook junk journals. That's how I've always done the closure. So that's it. This is my journal. I'm super happy with it, and I'm so happy that you guys joined me today and you've been with me for this long to see how it turned out. I am going to be giving you guys updates, and I'll try to take some pictures of it as I work along in it. And I'm hoping that I can fill it up nice, but not too much, and that I can actually complete a journal this time instead of leaving empty pages at the end. I would love you guys to like the video if you got something from it and if you enjoyed it, and I would love to have your questions and any comments you have. I'd love to respond and chat with you. Remember that you guys are creative and you are capable and talented, and I love you guys. I'm going to leave you with just a little small flip through again. I love it. It's so cute. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like mesmerized. I keep looking at it. So yeah, you just unwrap that twice and then unwrap that part twice or three times. It is long, but I think as it fills up, it's going to be nice that the string was that long. So that'll be my cover page to introduce the month of March. And this is the Tomoe River Paper. This paper takes ink so well, it stays up on top of the paper. It doesn't leach into the paper fibers. So once it dries, you get really beautiful edges to like watercolors. I use the Tombow markers or Crayola Super Tips markers, and I just like scribble and then water them down and kind of drag them all around the paper. And then if you have a heat tool, you can heat it up and it'll look beautiful. So I'll give you guys updates. Please let me know if you have any questions. And again, thank you so much for being here with me. I love you guys. Until next time, goodbye.